Video on soup. So I've got these Urad Dall. I don't think I'm going to use them for anything. I bought them ages ago. So I'm going to see if we can use them as a soup, or use them as part of a soup, as use them as the thickening kind of agent. We're not. I think we're a bit dark, but we're not. I'm thinking, oh, it's because I know why. It's because it's daytime, and so the lighting is a little bit off with the usual lights that I've got set up. So right, so I need to see if they'll make a soup, or like a thickening part of a soup, or if we can use them as a base for a soup. Anyway, so we're just going to make a relatively easy soup. So 350 grams worth of onions I've chopped, and I've sautéed just in a little bit of oil and put some salt in, so that might slow down the process of when these dal become tender. And there was 250 grams, but I've soaked them. You don't need to, but I did, because I kind of thought that would speed up the cooking process as we kind of do it. So there was 250, now there's 500 grams worth of soaked dal. So that in there, and then we'll add the water that we soak them in as well, and then we'll cook them and we'll kind of see what happens. Last time I cooked them, they went a little bit gloopy, a bit like a porridge more than anything. So we'll see how it turns out. And then, so how much is the soaking water? There's about 300 millilitres worth of soaking water. So we're going to need more liquid than that to cook that amount of dal. I'm sure a dal is a pulse, but I don't know. I haven't done my research, so we're going to need more liquid than that, but not too much, because I want it to. We're going to add some milk, and we're going to add some stock cube after everything's kind of cooked. So there's like 500 millilitres of liquid in all, and then we'll cook that slowly with a lid on until everything becomes nice and tender, and we can cure it. And then at that stage we can add more liquid, and we can add some chicken stock cubes or vegetable stock cubes if you kind of want them, and then we'll have a look at how is the consistency, whereas I'm going to have to do something else with them. Anyway, curious to find out. So they are tender. So let's turn the heat off. Can't move the board around because I'm doing something on the back. I suppose I could move that onto another. It'll be fine. We'll just do it here. Put myself out of something. So it's going to certainly need some more liquid, but let's puree it down first. And let's put a couple of chicken stock cubes in, because I think it'll need at least. Turn the gas off. I reckon it will need at least 2. We're going to use these stock cubes as the seasoning, really. So, and I always kind of think whatever the manufacturer says about the ratios of stock cubes, so if one stock cube is for half a litre worth of liquid, I always kind of think you need 2 for half a litre. If it says 1 per half litre or 1 per pint, I always kind of think you actually need double the amount of stock cubes for that amount of liquid. So that can go there, and then hopefully that'll stretch. Yes, that'll be good. So bit noisy. Turn on, and then we'll see how it purees down. Okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Right, let's put in 200 millilitres of milk. I'll have to do it off camera because I've got no room. Milk. This will cool it down, so but I'm going to see how we go. And then I was going to say something. I was going to talk about liquidizing things. So certain things, when you're using like a hand blender like this, it'll only get things so smooth because it's really designed for doing thinner liquids. So you're not going to be able to like puree down carrots into a fine pulp with something like this. You need to put them in a food processor. Yeah, food processor. Whereas this is designed to actually work with liquids. But anyway, so you need to add more. What I'm saying is, so you need, like I could have left that milk out and carried on pureeing this, and it wouldn't have really got that much smoother because it needs more liquid to make it actually smoother. That's what I'm getting at. Need some water in that. Let's give it a taste, and then we'll get an idea. But it certainly needs maybe another 300 millilitres, something like that, to water it down. Tastes alright, actually. Tastes alright. So I need to boil some water, and then we'll put some water in it. I suppose I couldn't. No, let's just boil some water. I'll pause. Right. So another 200 millilitres of water. And I'll give it a puree. See if it's thin enough. I think that needs a little bit more water. So another 100 millilitres of boiling water. I'll have to guess that because my scale doesn't go down to 100. You can never buy what you want. Like a measuring jug that starts at 100 millilitres would be nice, but you know. So, I want it a bit. Another 100 mils. Another 100 mils. So, the basic rule of cooking is it's dead easy to add a bit more, very difficult to take things away. Certainly when it comes to water or sugar or salt. So, one more of those, and then another stock cube. I suppose I could put in salt and pepper, but there's also a bit of fat in a stock cube, which adds richness. So. Right, so let's have a taste. Let's have a look at consistency, and then we'll be able to see if I could use that Urad Dall as a. That's okay. That's not got glue. That's not gloopy or anything like that. Very nice. Very nice. Well, it's nice, but there's not bags of flavour in there. So I suppose it's like a lentil soup. Like lentil soup just tastes of lentils. There isn't that much flavour with Urad Dalls. So I kind of think but to use it as a base in something, so instead of using like a roux, like flour and fat, to thicken a soup, or a potato, to use those Urad Dall, which are kind of quite neutral in flavour, to thicken a soup, is certainly a thing I can do. So they won't just sit in the back of the cupboard for the next 2 years. I can actually use them in the soup instead of making a roux or putting potato in to kind of make a thick soup. So there we go, a success and cutting down on food waste.